Revealed, an orphan's incredible journey from hidden suffering to amazing life-changing freedom. Emily stood before the faded brick wall of the community center, her heart pounding like a war drum. A sign above her read, "Support and hope await," but all she felt was the frigid grip of loneliness. At just 16, she juggled 2 part-time jobs to make ends meet, always slipping through life as if she were merely a shadow. With the laughter and vibrant energy surrounding her, she longed to belong. Each day, the warm whispers of freshly baked goods and the camaraderie of the retired veterans inside made her dreams feel almost real. On certain days, the burden of her struggles felt too heavy. At school, she was reminded of her invisibility, surrounded by peers whose lives seemed wrapped in privilege, their laughter echoing in her ears like a cruel taunt. They couldn't see the soul beneath her inscrutable exterior, nor could they comprehend the depth of her pain. Still, in the community center's arms, Mr. Jenkins, a kindly veteran with a heart as wide as the sky, saw her potential. He always said, "Emily, you're a diamond in the rough." The words wrapped around her heart like a warm hug, igniting a flicker of hope. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. Motivated by Mr. Jenkins, Emily finally decided to apply for a community scholarship designed to lift kids like her out of their struggles. She began crafting her application, wrestling with dreams of a future where she wouldn't just survive but thrive. It was a chance to rewrite her story. With each word, with every heart-wrenching line, she imagined a life where she wouldn't feel like she had to keep running, where she could care not only for herself but for her foster siblings too. Just as victory felt tangible and her dream hovered within reach, a chilling message erupted from the depths of her past. Faceless ghosts of unresolved issues loomed higher, shattering the bubble of hope she'd been nurturing. It pulled at her like a relentless tide, revealing a family she had been estranged from, the roots of which she had buried deep in fear of abandonment. Did she dare face them, risking everything she had worked so hard for? The tension thudded in her chest as she stood at a crossroads, each path marked with the weight of her choices. Emily's heart raced as she contemplated her fragile connection to her biological family, the very family she had yearned for but never truly known. Would she summon the courage to confront demons from her past, or would she let go of them to fight for a brighter future? The rumble of uncertainty thundered in her ears as she pressed forward, each step reverberating like a heartbeat, pulling her closer to a decision that could change everything. As the echoes of her past beckoned, she stood at the brink searching for an answer. Could there be forgiveness amidst all that pain? Would her remarkable spirit guide her through the darkness that long haunted her heart? As we leave Emily poised on this precipice, questions linger. What would her journey reveal next? Emily took a deep breath and stepped back from the faded brick wall, trying to collect herself. The warmth of the sun filtered through the trees, brushing against her skin, but it could not chase away the cold gnawing at her heart. She felt like she was trapped in a game of tug-of-war with her own emotions, the urge to reach out for her family pulling hard at her core while the desire to protect her fragile state held her firm in place. In that moment, doubts began to swirl in her mind like autumn leaves caught in a gust of wind. What if she found them and all that she feared was true? What if they didn't want her? The very thought of their indifference felt like sliced glass, carving deeper paths of hurt. Yet, another part of her smaller but undeniably strong yearned for answers, for context, for a sliver of connection. As Emily wandered away from the community center, the bustling sounds faded into the background, replaced by the rhythmic sound of her footsteps against the pavement. She stopped outside a cafe that she had passed 1,000 times, the aroma of freshly brewed coffee pulling her in. They had delicious pastries, and for just a moment, the urge to indulge flickered bright. She pushed the door open, the small bell chiming merrily, but instead of the delicious aroma wrapping around her like a comforting embrace, she was enveloped by unease and unsettling reminder of her isolation among joyful patrons. At the counter, the barista greeted her with a warm smile. "What can I get you today?" Emily's mouth opened, but no words emerged. She glanced at the display case filled with temptation chocolate eclairs and raspberry tarts. Her stomach growled loudly, yet the sounds of laughter nearby made her retreat even farther into her shell. "Just a water, please," she managed to say, her voice barely above a whisper. "Sure thing." The barista's cheery disposition seemed to slice through her gloom, if only for a moment. Standing at the side and cradling her cup, Emily sipped slowly as vibrant laughter danced around her like a clear melody. It reminded her of what she longed for, a life filled with moments where she wouldn't have to fight against the current, where connection flowed easily like water running down a stream. She found herself eavesdropping on a group of friends who shared plans for a summer trip, their faces lighting up with excitement. For a brief instant, she allowed herself a daydream of being part of that circle, sharing moments over coffee, laughter, and adventures. But reality bombarded her like a wave crashing against the shore, reminding her she was alone. Just then, the door swung open, and a familiar face stepped inside. It was Mr. Jenkins, his gentle presence radiating warmth as he scanned the cafe, searching for her. The sight of him sent a jolt of hope through her. "Emily!" he called out, his voice slicing through her haze. Relief washed over her, and she waved him over, her heart clenching with an unexpected thread of joy. As he approached, concern etched into his brows, she felt the familiar weight of trust. And as the conversation began to flow between them, it felt like she was shedding layers of self-doubt. "I was hoping I'd find you here," he said, settling down beside her. "Mr. Jenkins, I wanted to talk about something important," she replied, her heart racing. "What's on your mind, Emily?" he prompted, leaning in closer, his eyes soft and encouraging. Taking a deep breath, she realized she could no longer hide from her truth. It was time to confront the ghosts of her past. "I think I might reach out to my family," but before she could finish, the door swung open again, and a stranger stepped inside, their eyes locking onto Emily's in a way that made her heart stop. Who were they, and what did their presence mean? A cold shiver ran down her spine as uncertainty filled the air. Emily couldn't shake the feeling that her world was about to change once more. Would this encounter steer her toward healing or deeper pain? As she sat in that cafe, her heart pounded with the weight of impending revelation. Would she embrace the tides of fate, or would she run away once again? Emily's eyes widened as the stranger stepped further into the cafe, scanning the room with a curious intensity. Each heartbeat felt louder than the last, reverberating in her chest. The stranger was a woman, perhaps in her 30s, with hair that fell in dark waves and eyes that sparkled with an enticing curiosity. Emily couldn't help but feel a mix of intrigue and apprehension. Mr. Jenkins noticed her reaction and leaned closer. "Do you know her?" "No, but she's looking at me." Just as Emily's voice cracked, the woman made her way toward their table, her expression shifting from curious to revealing an unmistakable glimmer of recognition. "Emily?" she asked, taking a tentative step closer. The name made her pulse race. "Yes?" she managed, though her voice barely carried a semblance of confidence. "I'm Rachel, your sister." The revelation punched through the air like a lightning strike. Emily's breath caught in her throat. "Sister?" The word tasted foreign on her tongue, layered with disbelief and a touch of thrill. Suddenly, everything felt surreal, as if she had landed in a dream. "Yes," Rachel confirmed, glancing at Mr. Jenkins with a knowing smile. "I've been looking for you. I didn't know where to start." The word stirred a tempest of emotions within Emily. Questions flooded her mind. How could this be true? After all these years of feeling displaced and lost, here was a thread of family she had thought forever severed. "Why didn't I know about you?" Rachel's smile dimmed slightly. "It wasn't easy." After the accident, everything got complicated. You were just a baby, you were placed in foster care. I've tried so hard to find you. The weight of the past crashed upon her. Memories of loneliness, of lingering shadows from a childhood marked by fragmentation, collided with this new revelation. So, you've been searching for me? Every day. I've seen the places you might have been. I reached out to people never giving up hope, Rachel replied, her voice close to breaking. When I saw you, I couldn't believe it. Emily's heart wrestled between suspicion and hope. Why now? Why not sooner? We didn't have good means to connect, Rachel said softly. I was only a child myself, placed in a different family. I didn't know how to find you until recently, and now her words trailed off, as if they were both fully aware of the heavy shift their world was taking. At that moment, Emily's thoughts raced faster than her heart. She could sense the potential of a bridge forming, yet the fear of losing what little she had known clung to her. And what if it's all wrong? What if meeting you only complicates things further? We can take it slow. I just want to know you, Rachel said, her eyes brimming with sincerity. The honesty in her voice coaxed a flicker of trust to life within Emily. But doubts still swirled. Questions loomed larger than answers. Maybe the stranger in the cafe was the one to help clarify the fog of confusion surrounding her. Or perhaps it was merely an illusion that would leave her even more lost. Will you come with me? Rachel pressed gently, standing firm with a sense of purpose. We can talk, catch up, find a way to begin again. Emily hesitated, the weight of destiny heavy on her shoulders. Could she truly step into this new path? Or was this just another chapter of heartache waiting to unfold? She took a deep breath, gazing into the warmth of her sister's eyes. In an instant, her decision would define more than just this moment. Would she embrace this chance for connection, or let fear keep her tied to the past? Emily's heart raced as she searched Rachel's face for any hint of deception, any sign that this was just a cruel trick of fate. But the warmth radiating from Rachel's eyes felt genuine, like the flicker of a candle in the thick darkness of her past. She didn't know what to feel, overwhelmed by the whirlwind of emotions swirling within her. Okay, she finally breathed, her voice trembling. Okay, I'll go with you. Rachel's face lit up, breaking into a smile that pushed away some of Emily's unease. Really? There was a note of disbelief mixed with joy. Yeah, just give me a moment. Emily turned toward Mr. Jenkins, who watched the whole scene with a mix of concern and curiosity. Are you sure, Em? This is a big step, he cautioned, his voice low, careful. I need to figure this out, she replied, her gaze drifting back to Rachel. I can't keep running from my past. He nodded slowly, his expression softening. Just be careful. With a final nod, Emily stood, feeling the weight of her decision settle in her bones. Rachel took a step back, allowing Emily the space she needed to breathe, to gather her thoughts. It was daunting, yet there was a flicker of excitement at the thought of stepping into the unknown with someone who shared her blood. Where do we go? Emily asked, her voice steadier now. Rachel's cheeks flushed with enthusiasm. I thought we could go to a nearby park. It's quieter there, and it'll give us a chance to really talk. As they stepped out of the cafe into the brisk air, Emily felt an overwhelming rush of sensations: the smell of rain-soaked pavement, the distant laughter of children, and the vibrant colors of autumn leaves that painted the streets. Yet, her mind remained focused on the woman beside her, her sister, a complete stranger who suddenly felt like a piece of a puzzle she didn't know was missing. They walked side by side, the silence stretching between them like an elastic band. Emily sensed Rachel shifting her thoughts to find the right words. I wanted to say so much when I first saw you, but it was hard to know where to start, Rachel finally said. What do you mean? Emily asked, feeling a mix of curiosity and apprehension. I have so many memories, Rachel continued. I remember moments from our childhood we shared but not together. I always thought about what it would be like to have you here with me. Emily's breath hitched at the thought of shared memories. What do you mean? Rachel's eyes shone with emotion. You may not know this, but you had a nursery filled with toys. My favorite doll was in there. I used to lay in bed dreaming about you. I made wishes on every star, hoping I could find you one day. The depth of Rachel's longing began to soften the walls Emily had built. You really wanted to find me? More than anything, Rachel said, her voice thick with emotion. I never wanted to lose you, and I've carried that regret all these years. I'm not sure how to handle everything, Emily admitted, vulnerability creeping in. It's just so much. Rachel nodded, understanding flooding her features. Let us take it slow. You don't have to decide anything right now. They reached the park, colorful leaves swirling around them as they found a bench to sit on. Rachel's presence filled the space next to her, grounding Emily like the roots of a sturdy oak. As they settled in, Emily couldn't shake a rising feeling that this meeting was only the beginning. What kind of bond could they create? Could they build something beautiful together after such a rocky start? Can we talk about our parents? Emily asked suddenly, the curiosity bubbling to the surface. She needed to know the story that had been hidden from her for so long. Rachel took a deep breath, clearly preparing for the weight of what was to come. Of course, but it's going to be difficult. Would Emily be ready for the truth when it unfolded before her? Rachel hesitated, her eyes searching the ground as if the very grass held the answers. Emily watched her sister, each fleeting second amplifying the knot of tension in her stomach. The distant laughter of children felt painfully out of place against the weight of the moment. I think I should start from the beginning. Our beginning, Rachel finally said, her voice steadying. It was the kind of steady that could settle storms. Emily nodded, holding her breath. She felt unmoored, ready to drift into uncharted territory. Our parents met when they were teenagers. It was a casual thing at first, Rachel began, her gaze lifting to meet Emily's. But soon they were in love. They married young, hoping to build a life together. But not long after, things changed. What changed? Emily gently pressed, feeling her heart thump louder. The truth felt like an unwrapped gift, full of potential and fear. Rachel took a deep breath. Your parents struggled a lot. There were financial issues, arguments, and ultimately a strain they couldn't mend. By the time you were born, everything was falling apart. Emily winced. The portrait of her parents was starting to grow clearer, colors mixed with shadows. And what about you? Rachel's brow furrowed. After you came into the world, things went from bad to worse. They had another child, me, and while they loved us, the stress became too much. My birth pushed them past their limits. Emily felt her fists clench. She wanted to scream that this wasn't fair. It all felt tangled. So, they gave us up. Not just like that, Rachel countered gently, her hand reaching to rest on Emily's. They wanted to keep us. But they had to think of our future. After a lot of heartbreaking decisions, they thought placing us in the system might be the best option. They hoped we'd find better homes. They thought it was for the best. The air thickened, and silence settled between them like fog. Emily couldn't digest the details, each one distorting her perception. Did they ever try to look for us? Rachel shook her head, pain etching her features. I don't think they could. I think they felt so ashamed that they lost you they didn't even know how to face the thought of finding you, especially after everything they put you through. Emily's heart felt heavy like a stone. The idea of being forgotten nestled deep inside her mind, swirled around her thoughts until all she could see was her own despair. She swallowed hard. And you? You grew up in the system too? Rachel's face flickered with a mix of regret and understanding. Yeah, until I was adopted at 8. But I never stopped wishing for you. I hoped that somehow, one day, I'd find you. That's a long time. Emily frowned, grappling with the implications of what Rachel had just revealed. The invisible string that connected them felt both comforting and terrifying. I thought about you all the time. I'd read stories about sisters finding each other, all sorts of things that kept hope alive in me. I never gave up, Rachel said, her eyes brightening with reminiscence. Emily looked away, wiping the moisture from her eyes. And now we meet. What happens now? Rachel smiled softly, the warmth of it breaking through the shadows. I want you to know you're not alone. We can figure this out together. For the first time, hope dared to unfurl within Emily. Could this woman beside her be more than a stranger? Just then, a nearby family erupted with laughter, the sound piercing through the bubble that enveloped them. The weight of their conversation hung delicately in the air, punctuated by moments of joy from other people. It struck Emily again, there was beauty everywhere and pain intertwined. What if we tried to build something? A new story, maybe? Rachel suggested, her smile inviting. I want to. Emily started, hesitating as she weighed her heart against possibilities. But then, doubt gnawed at her. But what if I can't? What if I ruin it? Rachel leaned in slightly. You won't know until you try, but I promise, I'm here for you, no matter what happens. As they sat side by side, the sun began to dip below the horizon, casting a warm gold hue over the park. Emily could barely breathe, excitement and fear mingling within her. Now, each thoughtful breath drew them into something new, something unknown. Could this connection really grow into a bond, stronger than her fears? And as the day began to fade, she realized, the shadows of her past would not disappear overnight. The real journey was just beginning. Are you ready? Rachel asked, her voice a soft anchor. I guess we have to find out, Emily said, a tremor of excitement rushing through her veins. What revelations awaited them next in this tangled journey? What choices would shape their destinies? Emily took a deep breath, her mind racing with possibilities. The park, once merely a backdrop, now felt alive with meaning. Vast oak trees stood like witnesses to their reunion, their sturdy branches swaying gently in the evening breeze. She could hear the faint rustle of leaves, whispering secrets she was eager to uncover. What should we start with? Rachel's voice echoed softly, breaking through Emily's contemplation. The sincerity in her sister's eyes was almost magnetic. It pulled at something deep inside Emily, igniting both curiosity and fear. Maybe, about us? What do you remember? What was your life like? Emily asked, her voice trembling slightly, as she fought the urge to shy away from this raw connection. Rachel smiled, a mix of nostalgia and a hint of sadness flickering across her face. I remember bits and pieces. Fragments of happy times. My adoptive parents were kind. They took me to the zoo, read me bedtime stories, and celebrated birthdays. But there was always this empty seat, you know? It was like a missing piece of a puzzle. I longed for you, even if I didn't know your name. Tears pricked at Emily's eyes. The thought that she could ignite such longing in someone else made her heart ache. I had no idea. For me, it was really different. I felt alone, always looking for a sense of belonging. I thought maybe it was my fault. No. Don't say that, Rachel quickly interjected, her voice firm yet gentle. You did nothing wrong. We were both caught in a situation we didn't choose. Emily nodded, struggling to absorb Rachel's words. The thought that it was never her fault felt foreign yet comforting. But I wish things had been different. What if our parents had tried harder? What if they defound us? Rachel's expression grew serious as she held Emily's gaze. The depth of her eyes revealed a well of understanding. I think they tried in their own way. It must have been hard for them. Let us focus on us moving forward, creating our own reality. The sun dipped lower, and shadows lengthened, painting the ground in hues of gold and purple. Emily felt a wave of warmth wash over her. What if I mess this up? What if I let you down? Her voice trembled at the thought. Then we'll figure it out together. Nothing is perfect, especially when it comes to family, Rachel reassured her, taking a step closer, as though closing the gap of uncertainty that lay between them. This is uncharted territory for both of us, but trust me when I say, I want to be here for you. Emily inhaled deeply, absorbing Rachel's words. For the first time, hope wrapped around her tightly, eclipsing the throbbing fear that lived in her chest. Okay, then. We really can try. But what if one of us gets scared or runs away? Then we'll call each other. We'll hold each other accountable, Rachel said, her hand finding Emily's. You're not alone in this. I promise. Whatever happens, we're in it together. As they sat in the softening light, Emily felt an unfamiliar sense of relief. It was as if Rachel's presence carved a new path, one she never thought possible. But beneath the surface, uncertainty bubbled. What if their connection unfolded chaos instead of comfort? What if their pasts haunted this fragile bond? Just then, a gust of wind swept through the park, rustling the leaves and carrying laughter from a nearby playground. It felt like a reminder that life wasn't just about what had been lost but what still lay ahead. Let's take baby steps, Rachel suggested, her voice vibrant with possibility. We can start small, maybe do something fun together. How about we visit that art gallery downtown? They have a free opening this weekend. Emily's heart raced at the thought. Art had always been a passion of hers, a way to express the feelings she couldn't put into words. I'd love that, she said, a smile breaking through her worries. I'll take care of the details. Just be ready to explore, Rachel said, her excitement infectious. As they made plans, Emily couldn't help but think about the fears lingering in her mind. She was taking steps forward, yes, but the shadows of doubt lingered, closing in closer. What if they didn't connect as she hoped? What if the past refused to let them move forward? But as Rachel squeezed her hand, a flicker of confidence ignited. Perhaps, just maybe, this new path could lead them somewhere beautiful. Emily glanced once more at her sister, a mix of hope and apprehension swirling within her. What if we really do change our story? Then let us get started, Rachel said, her smile reassuring. What twists and turns awaited them as they stepped into this new chapter together? What lessons would they learn along the way? The days leading up to the art gallery opening felt like an eternity for Emily. Each morning, she woke with a knot in her stomach, both excited and terrified at what their new beginning might hold. Rachel was constant by her side, radiating an energy that made it seem possible to conquer all the uncertainties swirling in Emily's mind. Friday morning dawned crisp and clear, the sun pouring golden light into the kitchen where they shared breakfast. Rachel, with her hair cascading in effortless waves, hummed cheerfully while flipping pancakes. Emily sat at the table, her mind half on the meal and half on the looming evening. Are you sure this is a good idea? She asked tentatively, poking at the fluffiness on her plate. Rachel paused, flipping her hair back, and smiled brightly. Absolutely. The gallery is a perfect way to break the ice. Plus, I heard the featured artist really tries to connect their works to personal stories. That might resonate with us. Emily nodded, yet doubt shadowed her thoughts. What if I don't know how to talk to people? What if everyone else seems so polished? She bit her lip, trying to mask her fears. Then I'll be there. I promise, we'll navigate it together, just like we talked about. Rachel's reassurance felt like a lifeline. And yet, the weight of their past and the fear of comparisons loomed like a cloud above her. Later that afternoon, Emily stood in front of her closet, staring at her clothes. She wanted to look good, to feel confident, but every option felt inadequate. Maybe I should just wear something simple, she murmured to herself. As she finally settled on a soft blue dress that hugged her figure just right, she caught her reflection and felt a flicker of confidence. "Wow, you look amazing!" Rachel exclaimed when she saw her. Emily couldn't help but smile at her sister's enthusiasm. It felt nice to hear those words. "Thanks. You don't look too shabby yourself," Emily teased, admiring Rachel's bright floral dress that blossomed with color. As twilight fell, they arrived at the gallery, the space illuminated with elegant lights that flickered like stars. Emily's heart raced. The atmosphere buzzed with conversations and laughter, a mix of art lovers sipping wine and admiring the vibrant displays. "Look, there's the artist." Rachel pointed eagerly, and they headed toward a small crowd gathered around her. Emily took a deep breath, scanning the room. She felt small amidst the confident chatter. "I think I need a moment," she whispered to Rachel, pulling back slightly. "Hey, it's okay. Let us just take it slow. We'll find a corner and watch for a bit," Rachel suggested, squeezing Emily's hand gently as they moved to a quieter area. As Emily stood there, she took in the art around her, pieces that spoke of pain, love, and freedom. Colors swirled like emotions, each brushstroke telling a story she felt in the pit of her stomach. Suddenly, a large, canvas piece caught her eye, an abstract painting of intertwined trees, their roots tangled yet beautiful, reaching for the sky. It struck a chord deep within her. "What do you think?" Rachel asked, gazing at the painting beside her. "It's incredible," Emily breathed. "It makes me feel like there's beauty even in the chaos." The knot in her stomach loosened a little, the connection sparking a soft warmth in her heart. It felt like a parallel to their own story. Just then, a passionate voice broke through her thoughts. "Art allows us to express what we can't say out loud." Emily turned to see a woman standing next to them, her enthusiasm infectious. "When we create, we tap into emotions buried deep within. Isn't that how healing begins?" Emily felt her breath hitch. The woman was speaking to her, inviting her into a conversation she never expected to have. With a simple exchange of words, Emily's fears began to slip away, unraveling like the ribbons of a gift. Perhaps tonight wasn't just about facing fears, it was about stepping into a world where connections were waiting to be made. But as she began to share her thoughts, confusion flickered in her mind. What more did she want to say? Did she have the words? Could this night truly change everything? And as the lights twinkled overhead, Emily wondered what other revelations awaited her in the heart of this gallery, in the company of her sister, and in the embrace of newfound freedom. Would this night mark the turning point they both desperately needed? Emily looked at the woman next to her, her heart pounding like a drum. She didn't quite know how to respond to such an invitation. "Healing?" she echoed softly, her voice almost lost in the gentle hum of voices surrounding them. She felt as if the woman had plucked a string deep inside her, one that reverberated with worry, loss, and the flickering hope that maybe she could find her way through. "Yes, exactly. We create what we can't express." The woman's eyes sparkled with an urgency that made Emily lean in closer. "But it's also about connection. Sharing our stories, allowing others to understand us, it's powerful." Emily felt the heat creep into her cheeks. "I've always struggled to share my story," she admitted, her voice almost a whisper. "It feels messy and not very inspiring." "Messy can be beautiful," the woman replied, her tone warm and encouraging. "Sometimes it's the imperfections that resonate the most. Those are the pieces that connect us all." Though Emily felt exposed, a small part of her began to bloom, much like the vibrant art around her. She glanced at Rachel, who was listening intently, a proud smile on her face. With the weight of her sister's support, Emily felt a spark of courage. "I lost my mom a few years ago," Emily said, her words tumbling out. "And I think that's what makes sharing so hard for me. It felt like I lost a part of myself." Her voice broke slightly, and she quickly glanced up, fearing the woman's reaction. "I'm so sorry," the woman replied, genuine empathy shading her voice. Losing someone is never easy. But sharing that pain can help others heal too. You may never know how your experience can touch someone else's heart. A lump lodged in Emily's throat. I never thought of it that way. It's always felt too personal to talk about. Personal is where the truth lies, the woman said, stepping a bit closer. Art is not just for the confident. It's for everyone who has something to say. And if you can, share your story. You may find that over time, the chaos transforms into something meaningful. As the woman spoke, Emily's gaze returned to the painting, the trees now appearing stronger, their roots grounded in truth and connection. They weren't perfect, some branches were crooked, and the colors were wild, but together, they created something vibrant, powerful, and alive. Do you think I should have some of my own art here next time? Emily ventured, surprising herself with the thought. Perhaps sharing her journey through art could be the first step in finding her voice again. Yes. Absolutely. You have a story that deserves to be told, the woman exclaimed, her enthusiasm infectious. Art is all around us. Think of your memories, your feelings. They can all become part of your work. And Rachel? She turned toward her sister. You could create a piece together. Emily's heart raced at the possibilities. The thought of collaborating with Rachel ignited something within her alight. I'd love that, Rachel said, her eyes shimmering with excitement. But just then, a new wave of insecurity washed over Emily. What if her story wasn't enough? What if it wasn't perfect enough? As laughter erupted from a nearby group, she turned away, hoping to hide her swirling doubts. But deep down, a whisper of hope persisted. Just as the art around her connected lives, maybe her words, once shared, could reach others as well. Suddenly, the woman leaned in closer and touched Emily's arm. Don't let fear steal this moment from you. Let your heart guide you. Then, with a warm smile, she disappeared into the crowd, leaving Emily feeling more open, yet still unsettled. Emily exchanged a look with Rachel, whose excitement matched the flickering lights overhead. What if I really do it? She mused aloud, half hopeful, half terrified. Rachel squeezed her hand. You can. And I'll be right there with you. Taking a deep breath, Emily turned back towards the art. But as her eyes fell on the vibrant colors, she couldn't shake off lingering doubts. What shadows of the past would she need to confront if she shared her story? And amid the buzzing crowd, she couldn't help but wonder if this night marked only the beginning of a much larger journey toward finding her voice, or if it would plunge her deeper into her hidden fears. Emily stood there, the art surrounding her pulsating with life. Each piece in the gallery seemed to mirror the chaos in her heart, full of untold stories competing for attention. She placed her hand on Rachel's shoulder, feeling the warmth radiate between them. This was a moment that could ignite change. Should we look around some more? Rachel suggested, glancing at a painting of a sunset broken by turbulent waves. There's so much to see. Yeah, let's, Emily replied, trying to redirect her thoughts away from the current swirling storm inside her brain. The pair wandered through the room, absorbing each brushstroke, each burst of color. While Rachel admired the kindness captured in one portrait, Emily's eyes were drawn to a darker piece, a jagged, abstract formation that wrung out emotions she couldn't quite name. As they moved closer, a man caught Emily's eye. His shirt was splattered with paint, and he appeared to be deep in conversation with another artist. She could see the passion in his gestures. Maybe art truly did form connections. They were tangible and real, like the currents flowing beneath the surface of the ocean. What do you think? Rachel asked, nudging her sister back to the present. It's intense, Emily replied, still mesmerized. I feel it all. Fear, chaos, struggle. Exactly. Rachel said, her voice rising with excitement. Maybe the artist is saying something important about overcoming darkness. It's raw, like life. Emily nodded. There it was again, that nagging desire to voice her own struggles in the same way. What if she could transform her pain into something beautiful? The thought both thrilled and terrified her. You know, that woman who spoke to us earlier, she was right, Rachel continued. We can make one of our own. We can dig into our memories together. Together, Emily echoed, her heart warming at the idea. The shadows inside her shifted slightly, and for the first time, she felt the heaviness of doubt lighten just a little. What if I use my memories of Mom? Emily ventured, still unsure. The good and the bad? Yes. That's the beauty of it. What if we create something that tells the story of love and loss? It could help you find your voice, Rachel encouraged, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. Emily took a deep breath, envisioning a blank canvas filled with strokes of vibrant hues. What would it look like? She could picture trying to articulate the bittersweet laughter from old family dinners, the echoes of her mom's voice lingering in every corner, but also the crushing silence that erased itself after she was gone. As they walked back towards the entrance, Emily's excitement dimmed once more as uncertainty chased her. Was she really ready to confront those memories? Look at the sun setting outside, Rachel pointed out. It's beautiful, isn't it? Emily peered through the gallery windows, the sky ablaze with oranges and pinks. Yeah, it is, but it can also be a little sad. She swallowed, feeling tears prick behind her eyes. Just like my story. It's beautiful and sad all at once. That's art. Rachel replied. It's not about perfection. It's about truth. Somewhere deep within, a flame flickered brighter. Emily realized that if art could channel sadness into beauty, maybe sharing her story could help her heal. With every passing moment, her doubts transformed into a sense of urgency. We need to do this, Rachel, she said, determination filling her voice. We need to create something that tells my story and honors Mom. Yes. Let us plan for it. Rachel exclaimed, biting her lip in excitement. Emily nodded, her heart racing with a mixture of fear and exhilaration. Everything felt like it was shifting into place, yet deeper questions nagged at her. What if she held back? What if this journey was more challenging than she anticipated? As they stepped outside, the cool evening air brushed against her skin and filled her lungs. There was a world beyond that could be touched by her journey, the healing, the connection, the chaos. Yet, as she stared at her sister, she understood there was still a long way to go. Just then, Emily caught a glimpse of the woman who inspired them earlier, entering her car parked close by. Emily's heart raced as she turned to Rachel. Do you think I should talk to her? Ask for her advice on how to start? Before Rachel could answer, a loud crash echoed through the street, pulling their attention toward the commotion erupting nearby. An artist had toppled over an easel, and as the crowd gasped, Emily felt a surge of fear mixed with intrigue. What was that all about? Rachel asked, peering at the unfolding scene. That single moment begged to transform her journey once more. It wasn't just about art anymore, it was about facing her fears and finding the courage hidden in the chaos. And as Emily stood there, watching the world unfold around her, she couldn't help but wonder if she was ready to embrace whatever came next or if she would remain stuck on the sidelines, missing the opportunity to share her truth. Time seemed to freeze as Emily watched the commotion unfold. The artist, red-faced and flustered, tried to gather the fallen canvas, while whispers of sympathy swirled in the air around her. Confusion washed over Emily, echoing the turmoil that had been brewing within her all evening. The crash had jolted something awake inside of her. Like the artist, she had been teetering on the edge of her own fear, waiting for the ground to solidify beneath her. Should we help? Rachel's voice pulled her back. Yeah, let us go, Emily replied, her voice brimming with newfound purpose. As they stepped forward, the artist looked up, realization dawning on her face. I'm all right, just a little embarrassed. She chuckled, finding the humor in the chaos. There was something about her laughter that struck a chord within Emily, resonating with her own mix of trepidation and delight. "You know," the artist said, her eyes sparkling, "these things happen. It's part of the process." Empowered by this moment, Emily stepped closer, offering, "It's a reminder that art isn't perfect. It's about the journey, right?" "Exactly." The artist laughed again, her warmth infectious. "Every stumble teaches us something. Like this canvas, I'll just turn it into something new." Emily felt a flicker of understanding ignite within her. Just like the tumbled artwork, her experiences defined her. They twisted, turned, and reshaped her feelings into something powerful. Each setback provided an opportunity for growth. As the artist continued to chat with Rachel, Emily felt her heart pound. Maybe I should really talk to that woman, she thought. This was her chance. But doubt gnawed back at her. What if she got it wrong? What if the fears still lurking inside her were too much to overcome? "Let us go," Rachel urged, pulling her toward the car where the woman was getting ready to leave. Taking a deep breath, Emily rushed forward. "Excuse me," she called out, and the woman turned, her eyes bright with curiosity. "I wanted to thank you for what you said earlier about art and healing. It really inspired me." The woman smiled, her face open and welcoming. "Oh, I'm glad to hear that. It means the world to know my words can resonate with someone." Emily stumbled over her thoughts. "I'm thinking of sharing my story through art. It's just been hard for me to find the right way to express everything." "Ah, I see." The woman nodded knowingly. "That's understandable. It's never easy to turn pain into art, but it's so worth it. Take the time to explore your emotions. Make it personal and real, that's where the power lies." "I want to honor my mom," Emily said suddenly, her heart racing. "I want to share both the good and the bad." "That's beautiful," the woman responded, her eyes shimmering with sincerity. "Let that merge into your art. It can bring comfort not only to you but to others facing similar circumstances." With every word, weight slowly lifted from Emily's shoulders. She nodded, absorbing the encouragement like sunlight. "Thank you," she said quietly, her voice steady now. "You really have no idea how much this means to me." "I'm just a catalyst," the woman replied with a smile. "You're the artist. Go forward with that heart of yours and just create. It's your path to healing." With renewed energy surging through her, Emily felt exhilarated. In that moment, all those shadows that once threatened to drown her were now just fleeting thoughts. She had the power to shape her narrative. As the woman climbed into her car, she waved, and Emily smiled back, both grateful and inspired. The sun was nearing the horizon, painting the world in colors that felt symbolic of fresh starts and possibility. She turned to Rachel, who stood beside her, pride sweeping across her face like golden rays. "How did you do that?" Rachel exclaimed, shock and excitement mixed in her voice. "I don't know. I just felt this energy to go for it," Emily admitted, her spirit soaring. "There's so much strength in you, Em. I'm so proud of you." Their embrace was warm and grounding, filling Emily with a sense of belonging she had longed for. "What do you say we create together? Something that honors both of our journeys?" Rachel asked, eyes wide with anticipation. "Together. One canvas at a time," Emily responded, heart racing with excitement and affection. The streets began to fill with vibrant nightlife, people chatting and laughing as the stars emerged overhead. As they walked side by side, Emily felt transformed, no longer a shadow, but an embodiment of light and purpose. She took a moment to breathe in the cool evening air, every breath punctuated with hope. Yes, there would be challenges ahead, fears to confront, the chaos of her past to embrace, but she was ready. And finally, after so long of feeling alone, Emily realized she was never truly alone. She had a sister who stood beside her, family who understood, and a journey that was just beginning. Life, with all its shades, was truly beautiful, and this was only the first chapter of their inspiring saga. As they looked up at the expansive sky, filled with countless stars, Emily could only think of one thing: she was ready to share her story. And now, it's your turn. This story has moved you, ignited something within you, hasn't it? Subscribe immediately to the channel so you don't miss the next exclusive stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and keep us going. Comment below your reactions and feelings about this ending. And don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. True fans know the importance of supporting the channel through these actions.